Hi everyone! This month's afternoon tea theme is the spirit of Kentucky, and today we're in the Pinecone Cottage barn, and Julia and I are going to be talking about her tea certification. I bet you didn't know we had a tea sommelier at PCC. Anyway, our videos are designed to share our tea-centric lifestyle with you while we all enjoy the beauty of the world around us. Please take a minute to subscribe to our channel and like our video. So what you got there, Jules?
Yeah, it's a cookbook written by Bruce and Shelley Richardson of Elmwood Inn Teas, and we use a lot of their recipes, and their scones, our Elmwood Inn bread pudding scones, are from one of the cookbooks, and it reminded me of that's where I got my tea certification.
Awesome.
And I had a really fun time there. So
where did you go? Where did you have to go to get it?
Their shop is in Danville, Kentucky. It's
okay.
like an unassuming little tea shop kind of storefront, but we actually had the classes at the Shaker Village. So there was a lot of very spiritual. We learned the Bruce and Shelley Richardson are leaders in the tea industry. I saw Bruce Richardson and James Norwood Pratt at the festival a few years ago.
Where we met?
In Chicago,
yeah. Julia and I had an off chance meeting at this tea festival before she even started working for us. So, you know, it was all cosmic and anyway.
2019 pre-COVID, and then she taps me on the shoulder. I'm like, "Hi, Pam."
Yeah, you know. So, you know, the witchcraft works. Anyway.
It was cosmic.
Yeah, it was cosmic.
Yeah, it's like the way that I described it, I made someone laugh when I saw Bruce and then James Norwood Pratt, who's the other leader of the tea industry, and I saw them having a conversation. I said, it's like seeing the John and Paul of the tea industry.
Yeah, right. No, truly.
Yeah, Paul and Ringo.
Yeah.
So Bruce Richardson is, like I said, one of the leaders, and he and his wife Shelley opened a tea room in Perryville, Kentucky in 1990, and it was kind of before tea came back into vogue, so they had a lot of sort of say in bringing tea back into making it popular like it is today.
Yep.
And they used to be choir teachers, or he was a choir teacher and she was a music teacher, and they changed their careers to tea. And after their tea house closed in 2014, they decided to go more into teaching and writing books. They've written 14 books, including this one that I'm holding.
Yep, we have that one. We have their other two tea books, and then there's they wrote I think 3 or 4 of the great tea rooms. There's one, the great tea rooms of Britain. There's one, great tea rooms of America. I think there's one about Europe. I'm not sure, but anyway, I have them all. I just don't have them here. But
and they wrote some about the history of tea, and he collaborated with some other writers to actually talk about the actual teas and the types of tea. And until 2019, they taught a class, a Tea 101 master class annually, and it's a 3-day course, and I saw it advertised in Tea Time magazine, where he also writes articles, and I thought I want to do this, and so it was in Kentucky, and the one I went to was at the Shaker Village, and the Tea 101 master class was a 3-day class that introduces a foundation for people who are interested in incorporating tea into their livelihood. So they taught tea tasting. We actually got our own little cupping sets that we got to take home, and they taught us all of the different types of tea and what the leaves look like, what to look for, and the flavor profiles. And we spent I think a day and a half trying just all different kinds of teas and tasting. He taught the history of tea, the social history, and there was a tea and etiquette class where we learned how to introduce people if they were coming into your house for tea. And we also also learned how to eat continental style, and we had a lunch that day where we had to eat, our assignment was to eat continental style. And they also, of course, taught the business of tea and what to be prepared for and just what to know about. And at the end of
And you had no idea you'd end up working at Pinecone, right? I mean, isn't that crazy? Like
yeah.
how everything just kind of works out.
It was so cool because I took it kind of as a sort of a, this would be really neat. I was already interested in tea.
But you've always been interested in tea and pretty like
pretty things.
yeah. Julia loves. She's like our China. Not only our tea sommelier, but she's sort of our China sommelier as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, I like to make things pretty, and it's like this class kind of just took it to another level, where it's, oh, I could do that, or I could do this. And so at the end of the class, each person was presented with a certificate, and it was a really neat little like spiritual ceremony. And I became a certified tea and etiquette consultant. So woo-hoo.
So if you ever are at our place and Julia's there and you aren't sure which kind of tea to try, she's a good person to ask.
Yeah. And a little fun fact about Bruce is that he's also the official tea master of the Boston Tea Party ship and museum. And next month our theme is going to be Boston Tea Party, so I'll have some more stuff about that next month.
So yeah, so cool. There's so much. Tea is just like food, and that's why I love the pairing of both of them, because there's so much to talk about, and there's so much you can do with tea and with food, like these drinks we have here. This is our iced tea for the month, and we also have our tea tail for the month. And this iced tea is a ginger chai, and it's simply a masala chai, and we added just some ginger root to it. And you can do that at home too, and ice it up. And then I always like to put a little bit of stevia in my iced tea just to give it a little bit of sweetness, instead of putting sugar in it. And then in our tea tail is cinnamon roll tea, and it has a little bit of star anise extract in it, some cloves. We steep that all together with our rose geranium leaves, and we still have rose geranium leaves. We still have rose geranium from the garden. That's a whole nother conversation, right? The rose geraniums and the scented geraniums. I mean, that's something we will talk about in the springtime. But anyway, so this makes a lovely little, what I call tea tail. It's like a mocktail, only it's made with tea. So anyway, and we've got our scones. Of course, we cannot have a Julia and Pam video without our scones.
And the presentation, that was something that really resonated with me in the class where I took, because he talked about how it should look like thought was put into it, and that's always been my philosophy, but I never knew how to put it in the words.
Into words.
It's like, I just make everything pretty and everybody likes it. And it's like, yeah, it looks like some thought was put into it. It's not just thrown on the plate. It all looks pretty, and the little rose geranium placement and everything, and these pretty cups. And
it's the tea fairies, we always say. The tea fairies we're here about in October. It's the tea witches. So, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye.